Good morning, everyone. Make sure this is hooked up here so I'm not losing anyone because my mic that wasn't hooked up. Good morning. Today's live stream is called Time Management Not Really Working While Overworking. So it's going to be kind of quick, because it is titled Time Management, and I don't want to take up too much of your time or my time for that matter. But I would say, so what is the reason for me even doing this? And I was just walking outside and I was thinking, wow, I'm wasting my time. It's the morning. I could be getting something done. Why would I even want to go outside and take a walk in the morning and just enjoy it? And then I realized I work from 9 o'clock, technically, and I work at home, but I work on the weekday from 9 o'clock to 5:30 with an hour lunch break. So that's 8.5 hours. And because of the pandemic, a lot of people are still working at home while things are starting to open up. But working from home cuts out the traffic time. So now I'm working 8.5 hours, and I started to realize I'm sitting in front of a computer for 8.5 hours a day. What am I doing? Well, I'm making money, I'm generating an income. But 8.5 hours, that's just over a third of my life. And then I look at the amount of time that I sleep. And let's face it, let's be real. I need my sleep, and I sleep a lot. I'm tired a lot after a long day of staring at a computer like I'm staring at right now. I'm not even working. And that really tires your eyes out. So I'm thinking, like, well, if I can create a computer, if I can make like a phone that doesn't have the backlight, because when we're staring at a computer, we're staring at a light. And it's not just focusing on something for a long period of time, but it's also focusing on something that's shining at you. Of course, if you look at a light bulb, yeah, aren't you going to be tired a lot? So why am I talking about this? We're not going down a rabbit trail. That's what we call work, staring at a light and moving your fingers. Now, of course, the work is going on up here. The gears are spinning, putting this in this folder, blah, 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 writing this letter, writing this email. Who knows what you're doing at work if you're working at a computer. But that's what I call not really working, because we're sitting, we're not exerting really too much physical. It's all mental up here. So a third of my life, it's that kind of work. And then another third of my life, I'm sleeping. So that's 16 and a half hours. All I have left is 7.5 hours a day to do something with. And then eating. Okay, that takes up some time, maybe an hour. Chores around the house, another hour. I mean, you're starting to realize things are starting to chip away and away. But now I'm left with 4 hours outside of chores, 4 hours a day. Granted that I'm not procrastinating on anything, like dishes or who knows, vacuuming, cleaning. That shouldn't be necessarily too much every day. But granted, the third thing, 3 hours a day, where am I actually going to do my physical work? Like back in the old days, really old days, people tilled the farm. They were farmers. So they did a lot of work that way. But I'm just thinking, I'm not really working physically. I'm more working mentally as a profession. So it takes away the work, and I start to realize my time is slipping away for doing physical work. I don't know what you all think about this. I just thought that was something that was on my heart about time management and how I want to find more time to be outside, more time to explore nature, or more time just to be in nature. And, you know, maybe do I want to become a farmer? Not necessarily. I mean, but is there other work or like a lumberjack? I mean, is there any work that requires you to be outside anymore? Or are we just going to be inside all day, working on our robots, becoming a robot, or letting the, the robots do everything? And by robots, I mean machines and computers and phones. Um, and then we're becoming tired because we're not really using our energy. And so we have to go to the gym to actually keep up our muscles, to keep up our physique. We have to take walks. We have to go run in our spare time. And when we do our running and when we do our walking, we're not really achieving work. We're just kind of letting out that energy that we need to let out after a long day of sitting and doing nothing physically, doing everything up here. But in the old days, when your job was to not sit down, your job was actually to get up, walk around, not just that, but to go outside, maybe to ride a mule and go up and down the grass or the field, planting or shearing, harvesting, you know, subsistence farming. That's how you make a living. That's how you have to do work. I mean, in Genesis, God said that to Adam in chapter 3 that you have to now work because you sinned. You will have sweat. So it's just a fact of life. I mean, a mandate of God. It was the punishment that you need to have sweat. And if you don't do that work, then you're not really working. You're just sitting around becoming lazy. Maybe not mentally lazy. Maybe you're doing a lot of work up here, but you're not really sweating. You're not doing the physical part, which I think is left out. This is kind of like the AI takeover of civilization. And we say AI takeover, oh, aliens or robots or hybrids. And that's not really what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about how computers are taking the place of humans. Calculators are taking the place of the mind too. And it's harder to find more people to work. You have to just rely on programs. And so programmers are going to get the biggest pay raises because they're the most needed. Because programs can do everything, right? But then where is the human going to go? Human is going to be not needed because we have robots to do farms. They're called machines. It does take one person to run the machine, but it doesn't take 100 people to do the field. That's why there aren't as many farmers today as there were back in the day. So the amount of work is decreasing as technology increases. That doesn't mean we can't farm anymore. That doesn't mean you can't grow vegetables in your backyard. Maybe we should do that more. But then where it goes back to the beginning, time management. Where am I going to find? If I'm spending 8 hours a day doing my job that's on the computer, how am I going to have any energy left after my eyes are tired out of my head? How am I going to have any energy left after that to do the real work, like the real physical work that I need to do? It's like I would be working 2 jobs, 16 hours, and I would just get burnt out at the end. But I'm getting burnt out right now, just sitting down doing nothing. So it's a problem in civilization unless you are a farmer and you have a very physical job. Maybe you're a car mechanic or you're working hard with your arms. Maybe you're a plumber or something like that. But If you don't have that kind of job, you're losing that physical. If all your day is on the phone talking with people or in a meeting or on calls, is that really how God intended you to be as a worker, as a human being? Um, Honestly, it's not a biblical approach, and I don't think it's necessarily a biblical occupation, whether it's something that we're forced into or not. Um, but if I think we're taking a biblical approach at work, I think it would be using your body a little bit more than just sitting around. All right, you've heard me ramble on. That's just my 2 cents here. You know what you want to talk about next, or if you have any opinion on time management in the chat or in comments, leave a like and subscribe. We'll be back shortly, talking about any other time management keys or any other topic you'd like to talk about. All right, take care.